All right, let's talk about the anatomy of a redfish, because when you look at the body of a redfish, it gives you a good idea on how the fish feeds and moves through the water. Let me give you an example. The body type of a redfish is basically a muscular body with an inferior mouth. So they're built for tailing. They're built for trapping things on the bottom. 2/3 of their weight is in the first half of their body when you look at a redfish. And that's a lot to do with being able to trap crustaceans to the seafloor. So that's the first thing you need to know. The second thing you need to know is the olfactory senses and the feel sensory that they have in their face. Remember, a tailing fish or a rooting fish, such as a red drum or a black drum, they need to be able to move through grass, move through mud and oyster, and disturb something almost like a rooting pig, and then trap it on the bottom. So their sense of smell and the zone of sensory in their head is going to be much more than any other fish in that type of genre of fish, that classification. So a lot of the lures that you're going to use are going to be lures that stay tight to the sea bottom. Lastly, let's talk about the visual acuity of redfish. Now, many of us would be led to believe, because they're clumsy taking a topwater or getting a hold of a suspending bait like a myridine, we would say, well, their eyesight must not be that good. That's not really it. They're a clumsy fish. Their eyes are set a little further apart, and their mouth, again, is an inferior mouth, meaning it's on the bottom of their head. So it's a little bit more difficult, but their visual acuity, believe you me, is very, very good. They pick out subtle colors in that drabby brown green sea bottom. They can still see green very well. They still see brown very well. So these fish have good visual acuity. They are going to pick up movement. And sometimes, if those of you have targeted what we call the super spooky redfish, you know that if you flinch that artificial just that much, they will run to another zip code. So visual acuity is very good by redfish. It's just a little bit overlooked. Now you know some of the anatomy of a redfish that's going to help you become a better artificial angler.